The library is open and I can't wait to spy on some book lives. My fellow nosies, let's see how messy this one gets.
This one is Violent Little Thing by Sean. Triggers are a little extensive, so there's verbal, physical and financial abuse, child physical abuse, and there is also a flashback with CSA. It doesn't go all the way and none of it's very explicit, but if you know that these types of topics might be a trigger for you, I would say read it with care. You could definitely read it and then skip the page that particular flashback is on and enjoy the rest of the book, but you know yourself, so just look after yourself. There's also a brief mention of a secret society, there's murder, and there's sacrifice, but the sacrifice isn't human sacrifice. It could be material things or something like that. There's kidnapping and memory loss due to CPTSD, blackouts, dissociation. Okay, so the tropes included in this is close proximity, we've got a obsessed male MC, and it's also a dark romance. It's considered a dark romance. So this is between Delilah and Adonis. Delilah is also sometimes called Rose, so I'll probably use that interchangeably as well. So Delilah, Rose, same person. She's not a damsel in distress. She's a strong female lead, which is great. The two of them meet, but when they meet again, Delilah doesn't remember Adonis, but when he sees her again, he just wants to be in her presence, and afterwards he discovers that she's related to some people that he has some problems with, and this is kind of where it kicks off for the two of them. He does kidnap her, because why not? It's a typical dark romance trope. But when he's actually with her, once she's spending time with her, he realizes that there are some things that are a little bit off with her. He's not really sure if she's pretending to be the sort of damsel in distress character so that she can strike because of the family that she's in, or if there's actually something really weird that's going on. So he starts to investigate her and her whole family, and he uncovers a bunch of things, and that's what we're going off of to start off this book. The things that I really did actually enjoy about this is you really get to see the romance between the two of them develop, because it is a slow burn and Adonis is very obsessed with her. So if you enjoy that kind of thing in your male MC, then you'll enjoy that. You also get to see Delilah really work through things and watch how she manages to come out on the other end of everything else once everything comes out, and I don't really want to say too much. And although the chemistry built between them is done really nicely, and the slow burn, I know I've already said it's a slow burn, but the slow burn was a really good choice, especially because of some of the subject matters. It's really the only way a romance like this would be successful between these two characters. So I don't think I would have enjoyed it if they had just gotten straight to it. It wouldn't have worked. Also, Rose doesn't even realize all the things that she's going through because of the memory loss, but on the plus side of this, Adonis is really protective of her and he wants to make sure that she's okay at all times. And I also like that Delilah is not the type of character to take things lying down and just accept her lot in life. She's a fighter, and you really do get to see her fight in various ways in this book. She fights in the ways that she can. I also like the way that they handled the villainous characters. I thought it was done really well. You don't get all the reasons why Rose is treated the way that she's treated, but in all honesty, you don't really need that, because the book isn't really about that side of things. It's more about Delilah, her journey, getting to know herself, being able to live a normal life and have autonomy over her own life. And I feel like sometimes you don't get to know why someone is doing bad things necessarily. Sometimes they're just doing effed up things, and that's just who they are, or that's just what they're doing at that time in their lives. And I like that the focus was where it needed to be. Sean really understood what they were doing with this book. And I thought that the relationship between Delilah and her friend, I really can't remember her name. I feel like her name is Indigo feel like it's Indigo. So I liked the relationship between them. It felt really authentic. It was enjoyable. You know, I want to be balanced. So, what didn't I like? It's hard to say. I would say that actually I would have wanted to know a little bit more about Delilah and her mom's relationship, or at least why she wasn't in the picture. No, you know what? I'm not gonna say that, because you do find out why. The issue is like the lead up to everything. You don't really figure that out, and I just think it would have been nice to know what happened to make that happen. And also, why the hell did Adonis end up helping Rose's brother in a particular way? I don't want to say any more without ruining it. I just want to know why, because I would not have spent the time or the resources to do that personally. Also, Delilah really does go through it, although I felt like most of it was off screen. Like everything happens before you start reading the book, apart from like one thing at the beginning that she ends up going through on page. So everything else is more like through flashbacks and stuff like that. So I felt like the dark romance aspect isn't really there. Although there is obviously a kidnapping, which is a popular dark romance trope, I would say all the darkness is off the page or in the flashbacks, but it's not really between the couple, although of course there are like small instances between them, but not enough for me to say like, oh yeah, this is dark romance. It didn't really come across like that to me. And I've read quite a few dark romances. So I would rate this a 4.5. It's actually very close, very, very close to being 5 stars. It's just I'm pretty stingy with my 5 stars. I've actually read a few books from Sean before, and I do like this author, but I would say that this book was my favorite so far of all the books that I've read from Sean. It really is a great book. It's really nicely done. The romance is built so nicely, and it's everything that they both need. Also, Adonis does have his own things going on. Like he also had some things that he struggled with, and so it just ended up being a really sweet romance in the end. I would definitely call this more sweet than dark. There's dark subject matter, but overall it's a sweet romance. It's really sweet.
Now we're done. On to the next.